Georgia High School Association has blocked transgender athletes from playing sports in the school.
High school athletes in Georgia will now have to compete in sports based on their gender assigned at birth.
Shut up. They will have to play sports with the people who they were born.
That decision coming this afternoon from the state's governing body of athletics. Joy is here now. And Joy, Florida passed a law like this last year.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, so Kent, also Florida's law, it goes a step further, allowing students to sue a school if they feel that school has violated the law. Still, just like Florida, the decision in Georgia is receiving the same type of mixed reaction by people on both sides of this debate. Whether to allow transgender students in Georgia to play on a high school sports team based on their gender identity versus their gender assigned at birth was
When they came up with this gender assigned at birth, we was too woke then. What you mean assigned at birth? You was born with it. Assigned. Who assigned? Who assigned it?
first debated by the Georgia legislature. Lawmakers voting along party lines.
Transgender equals a strong man who harms women. Damn.
Instead, opted to leave that decision up to the Georgia High School Association. That's the state's governing body of athletics. And Governor Brian Kemp signed that move into law a week ago. The GHSA has now voted unanimously, 62-0, to enforce that all athletes must abide by the sex listed on their birth certificate. A move Republican Governor Brian Kemp, who's running for re-election, acknowledged on Twitter and endorsed, saying, "I'm proud to have championed this effort in Georgia." His post sparked this response from the Democratic Party of Georgia that reads in part, "Brian Kemp's use of state-sanctioned bullying of Georgia's trans youth as a campaign strategy is unconscionable."
They call it bullying.
By paving the way and pushing for this hateful policy, Kemp...
It's hateful. It's hateful to set policies that say that you have to play with the people who your gender was assigned. It's hateful to say you have to play a sport with the gender you came out your mama monkey with.
is showing that he doesn't care about Georgians. The governor's Twitter post also unearthed nearly 100 public responses, many of which were critical. Jessica writes, "Way to marginalize the poor one or two people that you just made feel even worse."
Way to marginalize the poor one or two. This just goes to show that there's not a large number of transgenders.
For feeling different in their bodies. But another...
For feeling different in their bodies. You can feel how you want to feel. Your gender is still what you came out your mama coaching with. Shout out to Michael McDowell for the $4.99 super chat. Say 62-0.
Her comment reads, "Thank you. Common sense prevails."
Look at that, look at that, look at that. It's simple. Thank you. Common sense. Common sense is you should play with the people who if you got a meat, you should play with people with meats. If you got a monkey, you should play with people with monkeys in sports. That's simple.
Now, we mentioned Florida's law. To see where all 50 states stand on this topic of transgender athletes, just look for this story on newsforgeorgia.com.
You got to ask yourself, who is really pushing for the transgender, notice transgender boys, or the transgender women, because that's really who they push. That's really all they push is the males thinking that they're females. You rarely see them speak on females who think that they are males. They're not really pushing for that. They're pushing for you men to be women. Shout out to Mario for the $2 super chat. Say BC powder is the powder of BC. There it is. Appreciate that right there. Listen,
Georgia will now have to compete.
Hold on. Watch this. Hold on. I think it's this one. Yeah. Let's go real quick to this next one. Watch.
The executive committee voted today to restrict transgender athletes from competing on certain sports teams. Molly Jett joins us in studio to explain their decision.
Explain the decision, please.
This morning, GHSA's executive committee passed several bylaw changes,
she look like she about 16, don't it?
Including their rules on transgender athletes. The GHSA voted student athletes must compete based on their assigned sex at birth. For example, a transgender athlete who was born male must compete against males, not against women. Executive Director.
Oh, wait, did she make a distinction? Did she make a distinction in male and female or men and women? Did she just do that? And did she just point out that transgender women is not women?
Director Robin Hines explained this decision.
Boys will play with boys.
That's right.
And girls will play with girls.
That's right.
Except for in those cases where a commensurate sport is not offered to females, such as football, for instance.
Like football, because there is no female football league in schools across the country. But females can play football. They're not stopping females from playing football, even though they're not males. But because they do not have that organization in any schools, they can still play.
For instance, they are able to do that under Title IX.
Hines says 74 members were on the committee and none of them argued against the rule. The GHSA also voted in the new board of trustees for the next 2 years. This morning, Frank, back to you.
All right, thank you, Molly. Robin Hines also said, quote, the Georgia High School Association does not discriminate against anyone, including females, and our focus and our goal is to have fair competitions and competitive balance, and the association believes this will allow for that to happen.
Exactly. I like that right there. But listen. Shout out to Esther for the $1 cash out. Say the men just trying to hunch. Listen, I have said it before and I will say it again. No. Let the transgender women compete with women. Yeah. Go ahead. Because every time they compete against women, they blow their ass out. Students is losing scholarships because they is getting whooped by transgender women. Yeah, let them keep going. Yep, that's what's up. They should be in every school to where they could compete against the women in every sport. And I promise you, in every sport that they compete against women, they are going to win. They say, well, it is no difference because you is using the hormone blockers and things of that nature and you taking estrogen pills and all of that stuff, and that's what makes it fair. Let them compete then. Just in my mind, I don't care because I ain't got no daughter playing sports. You know what I'm saying? Ain't got no daughters in school. You know what I'm saying? So hey, let them compete against your child that's trying to get a scholarship. If you is one who is upset about this law, do you? Ain't nobody tripping. Shout out to all the transgenders out here in the street. Shout out to KD for the $2 super chat. Say, my baloney has a first name. It's Oscar out here in the street. Listen, that's what's up. Hey, man. People mad. They say he's bullying. The governor's bullying. What? He's just making a law. He just saying, no, we're not going to do what you want us to do. You know what I'm saying? And like somebody else had them tweeted, thank you. Common sense. Appreciate y'all for rocking.